Hey everybody, Emerald with Keller Williams here, and it's a new year and new glasses, but same great real estate advice. The reason I wanted to touch base with you guys today was I have seen a lot of ads on social media as I'm scrolling through, which is pretty typical, but the ads that I've seen recently have increased in number around the We Buy Houses people. So things like OfferPad, Opendoor, Zillow is buying houses, Knock, all of these, and maybe even you've seen some of the independent ones as well. You've probably seen the ones on the corner that are just the sign that say We Buy Ugly Houses maybe. And a lot of people have asked me, hey, what's that about? Is it true you only have to show the house once and you get an offer? Yeah, absolutely. But let's talk about those things, okay? So those particular companies, and they're not bad, I'm not bad-mouthing anybody, but they make their money off of convenience and potentially an undereducated seller. And what I mean by that is if you think that the tax appraisal is, or the assessment that you get on your home every year from the tax people is actual, the actual value of your home, then you're missing out, could potentially be missing out on quite a bit of equity if you were to sell it. Also, they're going to try and give you the least amount of money possible because it's their plan to make money off the sale of your home. Now, again, this isn't the big bad wolf. These companies exist for a reason. We live in a society where we are constantly working, sometimes 2 jobs to make ends meet, and at the end of the day we're exhausted, and the idea of not having extra steps to sell a house is really appealing, and they're capitalizing on that, and good for them. I mean, that's part of what our whole system is about. The thing that you've got to remember is if they're making money around this, there's money that you're leaving on the table for that convenience. Just like a restaurant, for example. There's a surcharge and you pay more for your burger at a restaurant often than you would if you were to make it yourself. Pretty simple. Every single one of those companies, those real estate investment companies, has a different plan and a different way they make money. Some of them will just give you the least amount of money possible, and they'll close fast, and that'll be it. And in some situations, when it's a distressed family property and the family is out of town and doesn't have the money to keep up with the property and no interest in moving into it, sometimes that works. But if you don't have somebody in your corner, whether that be a real estate agent like myself or a good real estate attorney, it may turn out that you wind up leaving way more money on the table for that convenience than you really need to. The other way these companies make money is they give you a not terrible offer on your house, and you think, great, I'm just going to work with the company directly. I won't work with real estate agents. It'll save me whatever in real estate commissions and fees. Well, what they don't tell you until you're at the closing table and you're looking at the numbers are the fees that you wind up paying ultimately can be closer to 10% of the total sales price of the house, which is easily, in most instances, 4% more than what you would have paid a real estate agent to help you with the transaction. So it's not always a good deal. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let the seller beware in this instance. So what I have done, and what any good real estate agent who's been in the business for a really long time can do for you, is if you're thinking about selling your home, meet with them, meet with me, call me up. It doesn't cost you anything. I'll come over to your house, I'll take a look at it, and I'll lay out a couple of different options. Actually, it's more than a couple. I'm Southern, and so a couple could mean 5. But I'll lay out about 4 different plans for you. Option number 1 is, and it's all based on market research, and option number 1 is going to be, okay, Mr. Seller, if we were to completely redo your home and make it look like a brand new renovation, this is the top of market, this is how much you're going to get for your property. An estimate. Okay, and this is about how long it's going to take to sell it and about how many days on market you can expect. Option number 2 is, okay, we don't do much to it. We clean it up, maybe add a little paint, make it cute, stage it. And this is about how much you can expect to get for it. And this is about how long it'll stay on the market. Third option is we don't do anything to it at all other than clean it. And this is what we'll get for it. Bottom of market for your house specifically. And then the fourth option is I work with investors myself. Now, the investors that I work with have been vetted. And what that means is they're not new to the game. They're not inexperienced in the fact that they've done this before. And also they've got cash. Why does that matter? Well, let's talk about it. So let's say you have somebody come in and they offer to purchase your home and, oh, we're investors. Okay. They're a tiny company or it's just one person and they've never done it before. And your house is the first house they're picking up for their investment portfolio after going to a seminar at the Holiday Inn 3 weeks ago. They think that they can just qualify for a mortgage, regular old mortgage, for a potentially distressed house, not saying yours is, but in this example, let's say the house needs foundation work, okay, a distressed property. And they think they can just go in and get a loan, a regular conventional loan on that property, no big deal, and can fix it up and flip it. So they make you an offer, you accept the offer, and then come to find out their financing is crazy and they can't get it done and it drags on for way more than it needs to. And now you're stuck with the house that they can't buy, right? That's what happens when you're working one-on-one with unvetted investors. The other thing that happens with unvetted investors is unnecessary delays in general. Even if you can close, if they don't know what they need to get to their hard money lender or whoever that's fronting the money, that can cause unnecessary delays as well. Just as a heads up. But back to the fourth option that I present is basically my investors can come in and they'll likely offer you X, but you'll only ever have to show it once. And the closing's done in about 2 to 3 weeks. And I represent you the entire time if that happens. When I've got a listing agreement signed with you. And the reason that's important is because all of the horror stories that I just kind of spouted off are less likely to happen. Now, something weird happens in every single transaction. That's real estate. It's the nature of the beast. It's just like every time you get in your car, somebody does something weird on the road. It happens all the time, every time. Are there painless transactions out there? Sure, every now and then. Absolutely. Is it possible that something weird happens in every single transaction? Yep, without a doubt. And if you've got somebody that knows what they're doing, then you're going to have less problems. You'll have somebody there to guide you. So that's kind of in a nutshell the we buy your house type people. That's absolutely an option that I have for my clients as well. In fact, I've even helped some of my own family members down that route. The thing to keep in mind is when you've got somebody in your corner that's looking out for your best interests, you're going to make more money, period. You won't make mistakes. It won't cost as much time. And I don't care what anybody says, trying to defend yourself in court is going to wind up way worse off for you than having an attorney. Same thing in real estate. I'm not saying I'm an attorney. I'm just saying having a professional yields more money. Another really quick thing that I wanted to talk about with regard to property investors is there's a company out there that's saying that they have a trade up program. Basically, they buy your house and you go out and look for another property, and then you move in to the other property and you rent it from them while you're closing on your house and you're purchasing the new property. Trust that there are fees involved with that. Same thing. Is it easier? Maybe. Not necessarily, especially if the margins between the amount of money that you can make on your home currently and the amount that you need for a down payment on the house that you want, if they're slim, then that just eats into your margins dramatically. Oftentimes, and not always, but oftentimes taking the house to market will yield you better results and more money in your pocket depending on the circumstances. Basically, if you have time and you've planned this and your house is in good condition, you'll make more money listing it. If you are in a tight spot and you need to move quickly, you'll probably still make more money if you call a realtor and at least get some advice. That way you're not leaving $20,000 on the table. I've seen it time and time again. So, with that said, that's kind of the lowdown on we buy ugly houses, or we'll pay cash for your house, or OfferPad, Opendoor, Zillow. Purplebrick's not in the U.S. anymore because we don't do things the way they do things in UK, and they couldn't afford it. Sorry, guys. It's my plan for 2020 to continue on with educating all of my peeps. I care very, very much about you guys, and I care about your experience in real estate, and I care about your health, wealth, and wisdom throughout your entire life, because otherwise, what the heck are we here for? So my plan is in 2020 to bring you clarity on whatever issues or questions you guys have. So as you see me out and about, feel free to ask me questions. If you have specific questions, drop them in the comments. And I'm going to save these videos on a new link that I am setting up here in the next few minutes, probably. And it's going to be askatexasagent.com. You can go there. It'll take you directly to the YouTube page where everything will be saved going forward. So have a great day. Have a happy new year. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye.